Hey everyone, it's Kaycienikole, and today I'm going to guide you through a quick stretch and mobilize practice. We're going to focus on the hips, specifically inner hips, groin, hamstrings, and outer hips / IT band. We will work on opening up through the hips, but we'll also work on stabilizing and bringing a little bit more mobility into this space with different ways of doing the same thing. I would recommend having a strap or something that you can use in replacement of a strap, a rope, a belt, whatever you have. Even if you can connect your hand to your big toe, no problem. You can do that, but I like using the strap just to create extra space because it feels good. We will be on our back for the duration of the practice, and we're going to take just a very short sequence, but feeling it in slightly different ways. So let's go ahead and come down onto our backs. And as you come down into a nice reclined position, let's go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees open out wide. Have your strap nearby so it's hanging out. You don't have to get up and grab it after we're done here. Close your eyes, work out your little fidgets, and we're just going to take a few breaths here. Exhale, let everything out. Take a slow, intentional breath in through the nose, fill up from the bottom to the top, expanding all the way around the body, and then holding at the top of the breath. Open up the mouth, exhale, let it all the way out. Again, slow inhale, fill up from the bottom. Open up through the ribs, all the way up into your chest, your lungs expand, holding at the top. And then open up the mouth and let it go. One more through the nose the whole way through. Take a slow breath in. And just as slowly through the nose, exhale, melt the breath all the way back out. And then relax a little bit of effort over your breath. Let it find more of its natural pace and rhythm. Breathing in and out of the nose. And then go ahead and gently blink open through the eyes, hands to the outer legs. Help lift the knees towards one another. Separate the feet a little bit, and then just windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Okay, so first, we're going to work on where our body is mobily. So where can we move our legs with just the mobility of our hips? Then we'll take it more into leveraging to get deeper into the stretch and into the flexibility. So let the knees come back up to center, feet flat on the ground. And let's take the strap. We're just going to let it hang out in some positions where we won't be using it. So let's lift the right foot off the ground, take the strap, bring it around the ball of your right foot, and then just extend your right leg towards the ceiling and then let go of the strap ends. We're not going to use them right away. We're going to feel more of the mobility into the hips. So the hands help leverage, pull, okay? This will help us go deeper into the flexibility. So for now, just the mobility. Reach up through your heel, feel the toes pull back, getting as much extension through that top leg as possible. As you reach up, you're going to feel energetically like you're trying to pull the leg closer towards your torso while keeping your hips grounded down. Now you can keep your left knee bent. I really like that variation, but you also have the option of extending your left leg out nice and long. We'll create a little bit more space, a little bit more length for intensity. As you extend up and pull the leg in, notice where your edge is, where your body kind of stops with that engagement. Give yourself a couple more breaths. Try to become really active through your quadriceps. Your upper legs are engaged. Driving all the way out through the feet. Okay. So this is kind of your range of motion. What we're going to do is we're going to create a little bit of resistance. So we're going to find some end range engagement, and then we'll take it deeper into our flexibility. So wherever your leg is right now, I want you to hold on to the strap ends, not to pull it deeper, but to hold it right where it is, okay? As you hold it, what we're going to do is we're going to pull it in a micro bit closer. So just literally the babyest amount closer, okay? Now hold it in place. You're not going to let your leg move. You're going to kick up through the heel, and you're going to imagine energetically like you're trying to kick your foot forward, but the hands are anchors and they're just holding it in place. So begin to kick your foot up into the strap and imagine kicking it forward. So now we're building that end range engagement so that we can eventually have more and more of the mobility into the hips. Keep kicking forward, but resisting with your hands for 3, 2, 1. Now this is your mobility. Relax your leg a little bit and now pull it in as closely as you can. So that difference, whenever you are nice and active to when you pull in, that's the gap of space that we're trying to bridge, bring more balance into it. We want to be able to have flexibility in our bodies, but we want to be able to support the flexibility within our bodies. So if your flexibility is a lot more than your mobility, then that's what we're working on, is how to bridge that gap, how to become more mobile within that range of motion. So as you're pulling in, try to relax your shoulders on the ground. If they're all tensed up and lifted, we're using way more energy and effort than what we need. Hold farther down on the strap. Let the shoulders melt down into the ground as you pull in. Just give yourself a couple more breaths. Okay, now go ahead and release the strap ends again. See if you notice that there's a little bit more mobility into the hip, okay? Now without holding onto the strap ends, you're gonna feel your top foot angle out to the side. And as it angles out to the side, you're getting more external rotation in your hip, which is exactly what we're looking for. Keep drawing it towards your torso, okay? Arms open out to a T, straight out from the shoulders. Now keep the leg drawing closer to the upper body as you start to open it out to the right side. Make sure your left hip does not lift off the ground, okay? We're not sacrificing the hip lifting to get the foot closer to the floor. Hip stays down, and that way you can really feel where is that range of motion. Active leg here. So the quad is engaged, reaching out through the heel, toes angling towards the ground. Hold here. This is all the mobility in your hip, being able to take yourself into the position without assistance. Take another breath. Okay, so I'm going to come out of it a little bit, and that way you can kind of see, but try to keep your leg as close to where it is right now as you can. You might lift it up just a little bit. You're going to hold on to both ends of the strap, and you're going to imagine that your hands are trying to anchor it towards the ground. So if your hand is in between your foot and your body, try to get the hand a little bit more towards the ground, like an anchor. It's pulling downward. And rather than pulling downward, I want you to just think about holding it in place. And as you hold it into place, try to imagine that you're kicking your leg back up to center. So the leg would lift back up if the hands would allow it to. Okay, if it feels like you can't engage your leg at all from this position, come up out of it a little bit. Keep it anchored and then try to kick the foot back up to center. Holding here, nice and active. Hold for 3, wherever you are. Hold for 2. Hold for 1. Now use the hand at the strap to exhale, relax the leg, open it out as wide as you can. And now using the hand for leverage. If you need to walk it up the strap, you can. If you need to walk it further away, that's totally fine. I want you to just find the sweet spot. Hip stays grounded, shoulders stay grounded. Give yourself a couple more breaths. Now use your hand for assistance. Lift it all the way back up to center. Okay. Now as you release your hand away from the strap with the leg right above you, we're going to see where our next edge is, okay? We've established more opening, more space, so we're probably going to feel a little more depth. Reach up through the top leg, toes pull back. Without using the hands, pull the leg a little bit closer towards your upper body as far as it will. Now from here, you're not going to move the leg very much, and I want you to move slowly, but keep reaching up through the heel. Feel the leg cross over to the left, maybe a couple inches. 3 inches max. You usually don't even have to make it that far. As it tilts a little over to the left, the right hip is still nice and heavy, rooted down into the ground, and you're going to start to feel the entire side of your leg start to light up. Say hello to your IT band. This can be really, really tight. And for me, the tighter that my IT band is, the more I start to feel sciatic flare-ups. So if you feel any of that at any point, breathe or come out if it becomes too intense for you. Give yourself another breath. Okay. Now, if your leg is shaking, okay, I want you to back off just a little bit. You're going to hold on to the strap ends with your left hand this time. And same thing, I want you to think about the hand as an anchor, anchoring it slightly to the left and towards the ground, okay? You're just holding with the hand, keeping it in place. Create a little bit of resistance. And as you activate the top leg, imagine trying to kick the leg back up to center, but the hand is anchoring it towards the ground, not allowing it to move anywhere. But now you feel all the engagement, all that activation, all that intensity. Hold it, breathe through it for 3, 2, 1. Now, as you relax, you're going to pull the leg in a little bit closer with your hand, pull it a little bit more over to the left side. Keep the right hip grounded. Maybe take your right hand, find your thumb, and bring it into the right hip crease. And imagine pushing the right hip crease forward as you pull the strap closer to your body and extend out through the heel. Breathe into it. Just a couple more here. Release the hand from your hip if it's there. Lift the leg back to center. You're going to bend the knee, release the strap off of the foot, and then stretch your extremely long right leg out on the ground. Legs both extend out. You're going to feel very uneven right here. Okay, so I want you to really observe the differences. You just spent all that time on your right side. Notice how much of a difference that made in your body, especially in comparison to the left side. Give it a good shake, release all that tension out. We're going to bring that expansion into the other side so we're not walking around with a little hobble to our step. We're going to try to find balance. Even if our body has natural imbalances, that's okay. Let's go ahead and rebend the knees, walk the feet in, and we'll repeat the steps. So let's lift the left knee towards the chest, take the strap around the ball of your left foot, and then without using the hands, just extend the left leg up towards the ceiling. Reach up through the heel, toes pull back. Nice and active in the leg. You're going to notice, oh my gosh, it feels really tight. It's the initial part of the stretch. When we first get into it, that's where we're going to feel the most resistance. As time goes on, you're going to feel it become more and more open. Now, as you reach up, your right knee can stay bent, or for a little bit more intensity, extend the right leg out. You're just creating more space and width between the legs, adding that intensity. So, active legs, toes back, and then top leg. As you extend through the heel, try to pull the leg as close as you can towards the upper body without using the hands to assist. Give yourself a couple more breaths here. Now, holding on to the strap ends, hold it right where it is, or if you're at peak intensity, come out a little bit, okay? Hold it in place. We're going to work end range engagement or a PNF stretch. As you hold it in place, activate the leg and energetically imagine kicking the leg forward, but the hands are holding it exactly where it is. Feel that activation, all that intensity. Breathe. Try not to clench up in your facial muscles, but relax where you can for 3, for 2. Now on 1, you can relax your top leg and now use your hands to pull the leg a little bit closer towards you. Once again, just observe the differences between where that range of motion is, mobility versus flexibility. Couple more breaths. Breathe all of your awareness down the back of that left leg. If you're holding your breath, chances are your body has gone too far. Your body is constantly speaking to you through your breath. All you have to do is pay attention. Okay, now go ahead and release the strap ends and feel your top leg rotate open. So you feel the toes open out to the left side. Let's open the arms out to the sides. And then as the leg pulls in closer towards the upper body, open it out to the left until you feel your edge. Once again, your right hip stays down on the ground, not curling up and away. Keep reaching out through that left leg. Feel the opening into your hip. Hold here. Let's take another deep breath before we bring some activation into it. Okay, now bring both ends of the strap into your left hand. And once again, left hand, imagine it angles towards the floor. So it's anchoring towards the ground. If you're at peak intensity, come out of it just a little bit. You want to find the edge where you're able to activate. Now, as you hold it in place, anchor it with the hand and then activate the leg and energetically try to lift the leg back up to center. The leg is trying to lift, hand is holding it in place, holding active here for 3, breathe. 2, 1. Now as you relax, use the hand and pull it as close to the ground as you're able while still keeping the right hip rooted into the floor. And just as much as you're pulling it down towards the ground, you're also drawing it slightly in towards the torso. Let's give yourself maybe 2 to 3 more breaths. Feel into the inner hips, feel into the groin. And then use your hand at the strap ends to help lift it all the way back up to center. Once it's there, you can release the strap again. Feel now how you have a lot more range of motion. You're going to reach up through the heel. Toes pull back. Leg pulls in as close as you can towards the upper body. Now, take that top leg and tip it maybe 2 to 3 inches over to the right side. Nice and slow. Kick out through the heel. Legs pulling in towards the torso as well. Feel that intensity. Feel that edge. Let's take one more breath. Now both ends of the strap into your right hand. Right hand comes to the right and trying to anchor towards the ground. If you're in peak intensity, come out just a little bit. Hold it in place, active leg, and imagine trying to kick your leg to the left, but the hand is holding it here. Keep kicking, keep holding, keep breathing for 3. Don't hold the breath. 2, 1. Now relax that intensity. Relax the activation. And now take that right hand and just pull the leg a little bit more over to the right side while still pulling it in towards the upper body. Maybe your left hand, you bring your thumb into the hip crease and press the left thigh forward as you pull the strap in. And just feel that here, that nice deep stretch. Couple more really full, expansive breaths. Release the hand from the hip, leg back to center, bend the knee, release the strap. You could set the strap out of your way. Stretch the legs long and shake them out. Balance is restored. Legs are even. Okay, a couple more breaths, moving however you would like. And when you're ready, pull the knees to the chest, hug them in, couple sways left and right. And then we'll make our way up to a seated position. You can either roll to a side and press up or rock forward and back until you have the momentum to come up. From your seated position, spine up nice and tall, lift your shoulders, pull them back, draw them down, hands together at heart center. Take a moment, just close your eyes. Thank your body for all that it does for you. And thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through practice today. Open up your eyes when you're ready. So this is one of my favorite ways of getting into my hamstrings, especially, but really loosening up into the hips. Really the only part of the hip we didn't really get to was being able to target more into the front of the hips or into kind of the glutes and getting a little bit deeper into the outer hip as well. But we targeted a lot. You should be feeling a lot more open. I would love to hear your feedback in the comments, and also taking a different approach rather than just opening and working on flexibility and stretching all the time. We brought in a little bit more well-rounded routine for you to work on so that you have not just open hips, but you have strong and mobile hips as well. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to practicing with y'all soon.